Hey everybody, it's time to swing with Still Swinging. And I'm your host, Thomas. And today, family, we got Ask a Brother podcast up. Ask a Brother got a channel on YouTube. Fair use, fair use. Listen, in this episode of Ask a Brother podcast, he interviewed Jazz on the situation that Black women are in. All right, and the overall image of Black women, and he want to know how Jazz feels about the overall image that Black women have around globally, social media, and he want to know how Jazz feels about the state of Black women and that image globally. All right, I think Jazz has some very interesting responses, and I thought it made a good conversation. So, fellas, without further ado, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel because y'all know I be bringing it. Let's take a walk with Ask a Brother, and I give my assessment along the way. Y'all know how I do.
I'm going to jump into my initial topic as we're also doing this interview, which is kind of like the initial portion I wanted to kind of prick your brain on. It's just Black women's image in America and globally. So, like, what are your initial thoughts about like the state and image of Black women in America and globally in terms of like dating, behavior, attitude, stuff like that?
Well, I think there's a misconception of what Black women are because there's like this hyper fixation on degeneracy right now, especially within our community. And I don't want to go down a rabbit hole, but this is all by design, right? This is all by design to make Black people in particularly look like the most degenerate, the most lazy, most hypersexual, the most, unfit to be wives and unfit to be husbands. It's always this negative trope. It is definitely socially constructed that way, and it's by design. So I think right now the image is mostly negative because that's what's being pumped out on social media. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. Is a little friend descending from my ceiling. It was a little spider, but anyway. And I think there's just this hyper fixation on that, and people are just running with it, right? And it's been consumed so much that no one else is open to the perspective that actually all Black women aren't behaving like this. All Black women are not like this. Are you in environments that are fostering positive?
You don't think they earn these narratives and these tropes? Okay, you don't think they are very hypersexual? Maybe you think people just shouldn't pay it no mind. And because you keep saying it ain't all of them. It's too goddamn many. How about that? It don't have to be all of them to be way too goddamn many. All right, too goddamn many to earn you the reputation that you sisters have around the world. All right, as unruly, as ratchet, as hypersexual. Okay, you ladies earned this. Okay, it's gonna be up to you ladies to get rid of it. All right, you get on here and they ask for some accountability. You can't give none, any. You talking about it's a negative trope that been placed on you, like you didn't earn it.
Relationships with Black women, or are you hyperfixated on all the negative and then putting that blanket statement or that blanket image over everything?
Listen, Jazz, let me explain something to you. Most of y'all self-awareness is through the floor. So all of y'all get up here and talk about it ain't all of us, when most of the time the person that's talking is one of the ones we talking about. All right, listen, let me explain something to you. He just asked you for some accountability, and what did you do? Straight get the ducking. All right, and turned into a victim. And people just blaming this stuff on y'all, and it's not all of y'all. And since when did it gotta be every last one of y'all for it to be too goddamn many? And enough of y'all where y'all earn these titles as ratchet, unruly, out of shape, loud, ridiculous people. Okay? Listen, you got to take some of the responsibility before you can correct it. If you think you just should get to ignore it, don't think everybody else going to do the same with you.
Image over everyone, and I think that's what the problem is right now. There are plenty of women that are not engaging in degeneracy, and my question is, do you know those women? Are you engaging with those women? Do you even care to get to know these women outside of romantically? And I think that's another thing too.
Most men don't care to get to know women outside of romantically until they've been romantic with them. Okay? It ain't gonna go the way you think it should go instead of the way it go. Men not gonna start behaving the way you think they should behave instead of the way we behave. No. All right, women used to know this. Women used to deal with men the way they were. All right, they used to know we not gonna change. You ladies think as of recently, you should be able to come along and change us. No, you're not. You're not. For the most part, if I don't have a romantic interest in a woman, I don't have an interest in her. I mean, what am I going to do? Just come and kick it with you? No. That's not the way men operate.
And I think that's another thing too. Black women are objectified first before anything. You know, we are looking.
You are objectified. You objectify yourself, then get upset when people take it the way you presented it. No. You think he shouldn't judge you. You think we shouldn't judge you. You think the world shouldn't judge you. We're going to judge you. All right? We're going to judge what we see, the way you presented it. We're not going to stop and just take what you said and the way you said you wanted it presented instead of the way it been presented. No. You present yourself this way, it's going to get taken this way. It's not going to get taken the way you want it to get taken because you don't like the way it really paints you, the light it really paints you in. All right, that's not going to happen. You're going to get painted in the light we see. All right, you're not going to paint another one for us because you don't like that one.
Arts and what we can do for somebody first sexually than anything else. So it's just like, if we are so upset about this, are we actually trying to change the narrative and tap into the women that are upstanding, that are practicing healthy lives?
No. It's up to y'all women to go and check them, not us. No. I see a pack of wolves walking down the street. I ain't trying to find out which one of them don't bite. It's a pack of wolves running down the street. All right, I'm going to stay the hell away from them. All right, I ain't trying to figure out which one nice. All right, that's what you ladies asking us to do. We not. It's up to y'all to correct the behavior, not us to try to choose which one of y'all don't have it when all of y'all presenting it. And if y'all not presenting it, y'all backing it up. All right, because I seen you do it several times. Back up some ratchet ass mess.
Whatever it is that they're feeding themselves, what type of, social media content that they're entertaining, what type of content and lifestyle they're putting out into the world. Are we really paying attention to those positive things, or are we so fixated on the negative? So that's, I feel like that's what it is right now.
Yeah. I see a combo of a lot of what you're saying about how the degeneracy, the worst aspects of what happens in every culture. It seems like our culture is the one where the cameras and the music labels are kind of putting that to the forefront and saying this is a representation of them. I definitely agree with you with that, actually. My issue and concern is, and I've kind of mentioned it briefly on panel discussions, it seems like as a culture, we tend to operate in one of two extremes that doesn't really help. The first is that there is almost like a celebration of the worst aspects of our culture as well. We buy the tickets, we pay for it, we show up to the tours, we wear the stuff, we quote the people, we make viral the very things that we also say isn't us, a true representation of us, I feel like. So that's probably my initial thing, is like, it's almost like we're kind of schizo a little bit, because we don't want to acknowledge that the very thing that we're saying, that's not all of us, that's not all of us. If that's our homeboy or our girlfriend that's doing it, or if it's a favorite celebrity, we still rock with it in a way, right? And then the second is, even if it's true that it's still a minority, I think we can acknowledge that, like, from a cultural standpoint, I'm not one of those people that looks in the past and says, like, everything was great in the past, everything was perfect, things were so kumbaya. Of course not. It was a mess in a whole host of areas.
For sure.
There does seem to be a cultural shift, let's just say from the 90s on, in terms of like respect, in terms of even our own individual view of our image. It just seems like we've lowered the bar.
Fellas, ask a brother be cooking. I like this guy. All right. But yeah, and I ain't mean to take over the show, but she a mess. All right. And anytime you ask for accountability, that's what you're gonna get. All right. Because you can bet she don't hear his point of it. She can only hear her own. Okay. And she don't like the negative tropes on black women. All right, but black women earned them. And instead of her getting up here saying that and saying that they need to correct it, she got a bunch of excuses and victimology that don't help. All right, and ask a brother, bro, he probably trying to break it down to her. Let's see how she received it.
Significantly in terms of our expectations, in terms of like what we would consider class or like respect or basic things that like are now debatable. It seems like it's almost like on one end, anything goes, people can do what they want, wear what they want, say what they want, act how they want. And then on the other extreme is anybody who kind of points that out, we attack those people, not the ones who may not be living. I don't know. What are your thoughts about me saying that?
I feel like I don't know that to be true, that we as Black people are constantly upholding degeneracy.
Oh my God. First of all, how do you not know that? How do you blind? You've been living under a rock, okay, to see that our culture support this degeneracy. All right, our women support the most degenerate women. All right, and you can't see that. I've seen you do it. Self-awareness through the floor, fellas.
Holding degeneracy. Again, I think it's media propaganda. That's all you see. Because in my life, I'm amongst Black people that are learning how to golf on golf courses. I am at galas. I am at prestigious networking events.
You can be a ratchet ass mess and do all of that. What the hell do that have to do with the overall image of Black women? All right, that you go to the golf course. If you think a hood bunny ain't never been to the golf course, you lost your mind. All right, you talking about places that you go. All right, that's not who you are. The places that you go has nothing to do with the person you are. All right, he's asking about the person. He's asking about the culture and where it is and the negative connotations attached to it and how it got this way. And you trying to act like you can't see any of it. And it don't exist in your circle when it does. All right, you are part of the mess, and you one of the reasons why we can't get it right. You in denial. All right, you think if you ignore it, everybody else should just do the same, and they not.
Upscale lounges interacting with career women and career men who are, doing positive things within our community and making it progress. And of course, that's not being highlighted enough. Unfortunately, the degeneracy is what sells the most in our community. So it may seem like we're hyping it up, but when you detach from media and you detach from propaganda and really get into community, it's not like that. And that's why I want to start this channel that in pursuit of what I'm trying to do, because, okay, the good things are happening. Y'all don't know anyone that's doing it, or you're not seeing.
No, you still talking about you and some of the people you know. All right, he is talking about the overall image of black women that y'all have. All right, not you and some of the people you know. All right, because I'm sure you think you're not one of them, because none of y'all think y'all one of them. Each and every one of y'all get up here and say it's everybody else, and it's just a little bit of them, and most of them just like you whoever's sitting there talking. All right, and we see exactly where that image come from. All right, listen, he just asking for a little accountability. You can't take none. This the stuff we talking about.
I'm seeing the progress happening, and I'm seeing the class. I'm seeing the Black love. I'm seeing the respect amongst Black people. But being anti-Black, being degenerate, it's all clickbait and it's profitable. So I can't really. We do have a part to play in what we choose to consume, but just like anything, there's duality here. I can go all day and listen to Rhapsody, and a lot of people don't even know who she is, right? And that's
one
because
of the dopest female MCs ever, but that's neither
one of the dopest female MCs ever, very conscious, very positive.
Listen, I ain't never heard women riding down the street blasting Rhapsody. Okay, that's not who black women ride down the street blasting. They blast Sexy Red, Suki Hana, and them kind of women. All right, these women who you just say a little bit. No, I never hear no women blasting Rhapsody. All right, and I bet if anybody pulled up in the car next to you, they wouldn't hear you listening to it either. You just think this prove a point that it don't prove. All right, it don't prove, because most of these sisters not listening to Rhapsody. And you trying to tell us they don't really exist, and it's just something that been made up, and we just need to pay attention to the couple people that listen to Rhapsody. And you lost your mind, baby girl.
Her music being pumped out into the masses. Why? Because music like hers, music like other conscious rappers, that's not what sells the ticket. The people that has the control, that's not profitable. And then also it encourages Black unity.
It's not profitable if you don't consume it. What's profitable is whatever you're consuming. Now, if you're consuming the ratchetness, then you're admitting the ratchetness exists. Why can't you address it?
We are reliant to be entertained by mass media, and we are not in control of that image. It's always going to be lower and less than. But like I said, there is duality that can happen. I'm a girl that will listen to Rhapsody, turn on Glorilla right after that. And then turn on, and then
she the type that will listen to Rhapsody and turn on Glorilla right after that. All right, and then turn on Sexy Red after that. All right, she gonna listen to the first bar of Rhapsody, and the rest of the ride gonna be all the ratchetness, but all the way to on her way all the way to the upscale lounge or the golf course. All right, because that don't change who you are. All right, it don't.
Turn on a little Cardi B, and then next. I'm praising the Lord, and I'm listening to praise and worship. But how I'm able, first of all, I'm able to understand that this is just entertainment, right? A lot of times these degenerate rappers that people speak of, they're entertaining you. 9 times out of 10, they're not actually living that life.
No. A lot of these ladies are living that life. That's the image they project, and that's the image y'all support. That's the image the ladies support. Okay, they don't support Rhapsody image. But if you let you tell it, it's just a couple of them. All right, listen, fellas, we can't have an honest conversation if they can't get real and can't get into reality. And you see, Ask a Brother is not a confrontational brother. And he know if he interject with true pushback, what kind of woman he gonna get out of her, and he don't want that on his show. So I respect the brother. That's why I don't like these conversations, fellas, but they must be had. They must be had to point out the issues and the overall issues with the issue. All right. Look, I think Ask a Brother, he make a lot of sense. All right. And he always giving me something, you know what I'm saying, that I can build on. All right. That I can understand, a point of view that I absolutely, you know what I'm saying, respect. All right, fellas. So look, until next time, Ask a Brother, salute to you. Jazz, salute to you. Look, fellas, we